Don't give up on English. A guide to improving your reading skills. Introduction. Learning English, especially reading, can feel overwhelming. There are so many words, complex sentences, and sometimes unfamiliar ideas that can make you feel lost. You might find yourself wanting to give up because it seems hard or too much to handle. But remember, giving up is not the answer. English is one of the most widely spoken languages in the world, and being able to read it opens up endless opportunities for you. Whether you're reading for fun, studying for school, or learning for work, improving your English reading skills can bring you closer to understanding new ideas, cultures, and perspectives. With time, patience, and the right strategies, you can turn reading English from a challenge into something enjoyable. In this guide, we'll talk about how to improve your English reading skills without feeling overwhelmed. We'll focus on things like why reading in English is important, understanding why your learning can motivate you to keep going even when it's difficult, the benefits of regular reading practice. Like any skill, reading improves with practice. The more you read, the better you'll get. How to choose the right material. Not every book or article is the same. Picking material that interests you will keep you engaged and help you stay motivated. Different reading strategies. There are many ways to approach reading. You'll learn strategies to make the reading process easier and more effective. Building vocabulary. Expanding your vocabulary is key to understanding what you're reading. We'll explore ways to learn new words while reading. Overcoming difficulties. We'll talk about common challenges and how to overcome them. The goal of this guide is to help you realize that reading in English is not as impossible as it might seem. You can improve step by step, and before you know it, you'll find yourself reading with confidence and understanding. It's not about being perfect right away, but about making small improvements and not giving up. Why reading in English is important. Reading in English isn't just about learning new words or improving your grammar. It helps you understand how the language works in real life. You see how people express ideas, describe things, and share their thoughts. Reading also helps you learn about new cultures, stories, and facts from around the world. Books, news articles, blogs, and even social media posts in English give you a window into different perspectives and ways of thinking. If you're studying or working in an English-speaking environment, reading is even more important. Whether it's textbooks, research papers, or emails, reading is a key skill that you'll need every day. The more you improve, the more confident you'll feel in your ability to understand and communicate in English. The benefits of regular reading practice. Just like learning to play an instrument or a sport, reading gets easier the more you practice. At first, it might feel slow and difficult, but over time you'll start to read more smoothly and quickly. Regular reading practice will also help you. Improve your comprehension. As you read more, you'll start to understand the meaning of sentences and paragraphs without needing to translate every word. Expand your vocabulary. You'll come across new words naturally while reading, and over time, these words will become part of your everyday language. Get better at grammar. By seeing how sentences are structured in books or articles, You'll improve your grammar without even realizing it. Boost your confidence. The more you read, the more confident you'll become in your English skills. Choosing the right material. One of the best ways to stay motivated while learning English is to choose reading material that you enjoy. You don't have to start with difficult novels or academic papers. If you love sports, try reading articles or blogs about your favorite team. If you're into fashion, read magazines or websites on the topic. When you're interested in what you're reading, it won't feel like a chore, and you'll be more likely to stick with it. It's also important to pick material that's at the right level for you. If the text is too difficult, you might get frustrated and want to give up. If it's too easy, you won't learn anything new. Look for material that challenges you just enough but is still understandable. Different reading strategies. Reading in a new language can feel like a huge task, but there are strategies you can use to make it easier. Skimming and scanning. You don't have to read every single word to understand a text. Skimming means looking at the main ideas, while scanning is looking for specific information. Both are useful skills to help you read more efficiently. Context clues. If you don't understand a word, look at the other words around it. Often, you can figure out the meaning from the context without needing to stop and use a dictionary. Breaking down long texts. Don't try to read a long article or book all at once. Break it down into smaller sections and take breaks in between. Reading aloud can help you improve your pronunciation and fluency. It also forces you to slow down and really think about what you're reading. Building vocabulary while reading is one of the most frustrating things about reading in English. Coming across words you don't understand can be discouraging, but instead of feeling discouraged, think of it as an opportunity to learn. Here are some tips for building your vocabulary while reading. Keep a notebook. Write down any new words you come across and their meanings. Review these words regularly to help remember them. Use a dictionary. If you don't understand a word, look it up, but don't stop after finding the definition. Try to use the word in a sentence, or look for more examples of it in other texts. Guess the meaning. Sometimes you can guess the meaning of a word from the context. Practice this skill to help you read faster without needing to stop all the time. Overcoming difficulties is normal when learning to read in a new language, but don't let these difficulties stop you. Everyone who has learned English has faced similar challenges. When you feel like giving up, remember why you started learning in the first place. Focus on your goals and keep pushing forward. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and keep practicing. Dealing with common challenges in English reading is essential to recognize as you continue to improve your reading skills. Many English learners face these issues, but with persistence and the right techniques, you can overcome them. Here are a few common obstacles and how to tackle them. Reading too slowly is normal in the beginning because you're trying to understand every word. However, this can be frustrating and make the process feel too long. To deal with this, try to increase your reading speed gradually by reading simple materials. As you get used to simpler texts, move on to more challenging ones. Don't focus on understanding every single word at first. Focus on understanding the general idea. Getting stuck on unfamiliar words is tempting because you might want to stop every time you see a word you don't know. However, this can interrupt the flow of reading. Instead, try to guess the meaning from context and only look up words if they are important to understanding the main point of the text. Over time, you'll develop a sense of when it's necessary to pause and when you can keep going. Losing focus or interest can happen, especially if the text is long or uninteresting to you. To stay engaged, try reading in short bursts of time and taking breaks in between. You can also set small goals for each reading session, like finishing one page or one paragraph at a time. This way, reading won't feel like an overwhelming task, and you'll feel a sense of achievement after completing each goal. Dealing with complex sentence structures can be challenging because English sentences can sometimes be long and complex, making it hard to understand the main idea. If a sentence is difficult, try breaking it into smaller parts. Look for the main subject and verb in the sentence and focus on understanding the key message before moving on to the extra details. Struggling with different accents or styles can also be difficult because English is spoken in many countries. You might find it hard to read texts from different regions due to varying vocabulary or styles. Exposure is key. Reading a variety of material, such as British, American, Australian, or Indian English content, will help you get familiar with different forms of the language. Over time, you'll become more comfortable with diverse writing styles. Building a habit of daily reading is important if you want to improve your English reading skills. It's important to make reading a part of your daily routine. Developing a reading habit can be one of the most effective ways to see steady progress. Here's how to build a daily reading habit. Set aside dedicated reading time. Start by choosing a specific time each day to read. It could be in the morning, during lunch, or before bed. Consistency is key to building a habit, so try to read at the same time every day. Start small. If you're not used to reading regularly, don't pressure yourself to read for long periods at first. Start with just 10 or 15 minutes a day and then gradually increase the time as it becomes more natural. Track your progress. Keep a reading journal or log where you can write down what you've read each day. This can help you see how much you've accomplished over time and keep you motivated to continue. Read what you enjoy. Don't force yourself to read something just because you think you should. Find books, articles, or magazines that match your interests. When you enjoy what you're reading, it becomes easier to stick with the habit. How to make the most of what you read. Simply reading is beneficial, but to really improve your English skills, you can take extra steps to ensure that you're getting the most out of what you read. Here are some tips for active reading. Ask questions while you read. As you read, ask yourself questions about the text. What is the main point? What are the characters doing? How does this paragraph connect to the rest of the text? Asking questions helps you stay engaged and deepens your understanding. Summarize what you've read. After reading a section, try summarizing it in your own words. This can be done in writing or speaking. Summarizing forces you to think about the meaning of the text and helps reinforce your understanding. Discuss what you're reading with others. If possible, find someone to talk to about what you're reading. It could be a teacher, a friend, or even an online group. Discussing what you read helps clarify ideas and gives you new perspectives. Look for patterns. Pay attention to how words and sentences are structured in the text. Try to spot common phrases, expressions, or grammatical patterns. Noticing these patterns can help you better understand how English works and improve your own language use. Reread difficult texts. Don't be afraid to read the same text multiple times. Often, understanding comes with repeated exposure. The first time, you might focus on the overall meaning, while the second or third time, you can focus on the details. The power of reading for pleasure. While reading for learning is important, don't underestimate the power of reading for pleasure. Reading should not feel like a burden. It can be a relaxing, enjoyable activity that lets you escape into new worlds or learn about topics that fascinate you. By choosing to read for fun, you'll improve your English skills without even realizing it. Reading fiction, such as novels or short stories, can be especially beneficial. Fiction immerses you in new vocabulary, expressions, and conversational language. It also helps you develop empathy by allowing you to see the world from different perspectives. Non-fiction, on the other hand, can introduce you to new facts, ideas, and ways of thinking, helping you broaden your understanding of the world. When you find joy in reading, it becomes something you look forward to rather than something you have to do, and when you enjoy it, you're much more likely to stick with it and see improvement over time. Real-life story, Anna's journey. Don't give up on English. Anna was a 23-year-old woman from a small town in Italy. Like many, she had always dreamed of traveling the world and learning about different cultures. She was particularly fascinated by the idea of living in an English-speaking country. But there was one major problem. She barely spoke or understood English. In high school, Anna had struggled with English classes. The grammar seemed too complicated, the vocabulary endless, and speaking in front of her classmates made her feel embarrassed. So, she did what many people do when faced with something difficult. She avoided it. After graduating, she put English out of her mind and focused on other things. Years went by, and Anna's life stayed in her small-town bubble. But deep down, the desire to travel and connect with the world in English never went away. She often watched travel shows and read blogs from people who had moved abroad, and she felt a deep longing to do the same. One day, after watching a documentary about people starting new lives in English-speaking countries, Anna made a decision. She was going to learn English no matter how hard it seemed. Anna signed up for English classes at a local language school. On the first day, she walked into the classroom with a mixture of excitement and fear. As the lesson began, she quickly realized how much she had forgotten. The teacher spoke slowly, but Anna still struggled to follow along. The other students seemed to understand more, and Anna felt her confidence slipping away. At the end of the first week, Anna was frustrated. She wanted to give up, just like she had in high school. Learning English felt like climbing a mountain, and she wasn't sure she had the strength to reach the top. Maybe this isn't for me, she thought. Maybe I'm just not good at languages. But something inside her refused to quit. She remembered why she had started, her dream of traveling, of connecting with people around the world, of expanding her horizons. She realized that giving up on English would mean giving up on those dreams too. So Anna decided to keep going, but this time she changed her approach. Instead of focusing on how difficult English was, she focused on the small victories she could achieve every day. She started to focus on small victories. Each time she learned a new word or understood a sentence in class, she celebrated it. She realized that learning a language wasn't about being perfect right away. It was about improving little by little. Anna also found new ways to practice outside of class. She started watching her favorite TV shows with English subtitles and reading simple English books that matched her interests. She even joined an online group where people from all over the world practice speaking English with each other. At first, she was nervous about making mistakes, but she quickly learned that everyone was there to learn, just like her. One day, after a few months of hard work, Anna noticed something surprising. She was watching a movie in English, and for the first time, she understood entire scenes without needing to pause or check the subtitles. It wasn't perfect, and there were still plenty of words she didn't know, but it was a huge improvement from where she had started. From that point on, Anna's confidence began to grow. She no longer saw English as an impossible task. Instead, she saw it as a journey she was making progress on every day. The more she practiced, the more natural it became. She even started talking to tourists in her town who spoke English, something she never would have had the courage to do before. After a year of consistent effort, Anna took a trip to London. It was her first time visiting an English-speaking country, and it felt like a dream come true. She navigated the city, asked for directions, ordered food at restaurants, and had conversations with locals, all in English. Of course, she still made mistakes, but she didn't let them stop her. She knew that learning English was a lifelong process, and she was proud of how far she had come. On her last day in London, Anna sat in a small cafe reflecting on her journey. She realized that learning English wasn't just about mastering a language. It was about overcoming her own doubts and fears. The real lesson she had learned was that persistence was key. No matter how difficult something seemed, the only way to succeed was to keep trying and to never give up. Anna's journey didn't end there. She continued to improve her English over the years, and eventually she moved abroad to work in an international company. But no matter how far she went, she never forgot those early days of struggle and frustration. Whenever she met someone else who was learning English, she would share her story with them, reminding them that progress takes time and that giving up is the only way to truly fail. "Don't give up on English," she would say. "It's hard at first, but if you keep going, you'll be amazed at what you can achieve." Anna's story didn't stop with her first successful trip to London. After she returned to Italy, her experience filled her with renewed confidence, and she decided to take her English learning even further. She had seen firsthand that persistence pays off, and now she had bigger dreams. She wanted to work in an international company, travel to more English-speaking countries, and most importantly, inspire others who felt lost and stuck like she once had. Back in her hometown, Anna continued practicing English daily. She subscribed to English podcasts, watched YouTube videos about different cultures, and read news articles from English language websites. But more importantly, she stayed connected to the community of English learners she had found online. They shared their struggles and victories, supporting each other through the ups and downs. Anna realized that having a support system was crucial to not feeling alone in her journey. Over time, her speaking and writing skills improved tremendously. Anna began applying for jobs that required English proficiency, something she wouldn't have even dared to dream about a year earlier. After several interviews, she landed a position at a multinational company that had offices all around the world. The job required her to communicate in English with clients from different countries, write reports, and attend meetings in English. When she received the job offer, she was overjoyed but also nervous. This would be her biggest challenge yet. On her first day, Anna was anxious. Would her English be good enough for a job like this? Would people judge her for her accent or mistakes? But as the day unfolded, she realized that she was fully capable. Her hard work had paid off, and though there were still moments where she struggled with complex vocabulary or idioms, her colleagues were supportive. They appreciated her effort and recognized that English wasn't her first language, and that made all the difference. Soon, she started to feel more comfortable in her new role. Anna was excelling at her job. She participated confidently in meetings, gave presentations in English, and even led a project with an international team. Her company sent her to conferences in countries like Canada, Australia, and the United States, places she had only dreamed of visiting before. Each new experience pushed her to grow even more. But Anna's favorite part of her new life was the people she met. She worked with colleagues from all over the world, each bringing their unique cultures and experiences. She built friendships that crossed borders, and these relationships deepened her appreciation for the power of communication. Anna often thought about how much she would have missed out on if she had given up on English. At one of these international conferences in New York, Anna met Lua, a young woman from Spain who reminded Anna of herself. Lua was struggling with her English, feeling insecure about speaking and afraid of making mistakes in front of native speakers. She shared with Anna how she often felt like giving up, overwhelmed by the same feelings of frustration and fear that Anna had experienced early in her journey. Anna listened with understanding and empathy. She could see the same nervousness and self-doubt she had once felt. But instead of letting Lua spiral into discouragement, Anna shared her own story, the struggles, the doubts, and most importantly, the perseverance that led to her success. "I know how you feel," Anna said gently. "I've been exactly where you are. But trust me, it gets better. You don't need to be perfect, and you don't need to worry about what others think. The important thing is that you're trying. That's how you grow." Lua seemed comforted by Anna's words, but still hesitant. "But what if I never become fluent? What if I always struggle with English?" Anna smiled. "Fluency isn't a destination, it's a journey. I'm still learning every day. There will always be new words to learn, new phrases to understand, but that's part of the adventure. The most important thing is that you don't give up. Anna then gave Lua some practical advice, the same advice that had helped her push through her own challenges. Break it down into small steps, she said. Read things you enjoy, watch movies you love, and speak to people, even if you're afraid of making mistakes. Every little bit of practice counts, and before you know it, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. A few months later, Anna received a message from Lua. She had taken Anna's advice to heart and was seeing progress in her English. She had started reading English books, watching movies without subtitles, and speaking more confidently with her colleagues. Lua thanked Anna for her encouragement, saying that hearing her story made her realize that she wasn't alone in her struggles. It gave her the push she needed to keep going. Anna felt a sense of pride. She had not only transformed her own life through perseverance, but now she was helping others do the same. Her journey had come full circle. Just as she had been inspired by others, now she was inspiring people like Lua to chase their dreams and never give up. Years later, Anna's English proficiency had reached a level she never thought possible. She was not only fluent, but had mastered the nuances of the language. But what mattered more than her language skills was the lesson she had learned along the way. Persistence always leads to progress. She had faced countless challenges, moments of self-doubt and frustration, but by refusing to give up, she achieved more than she had ever imagined. As Anna's career and personal life flourished, she never lost sight of the struggles she had overcome. She had transformed from a young woman who was too shy to speak a word of English to someone who confidently navigated global meetings, led projects, and connected with people from all corners of the world. Her journey had taken her further than she had ever dreamed. But the most meaningful part wasn't her job or the places she visited. It was the personal growth and resilience she had gained along the way. Years passed, and Anna became a mentor at her company, not just for her professional expertise, but for her ability to inspire others with her story. Her colleagues admired her, not just for her language skills, but for her attitude, persistence, patience, and humility. Whenever new employees from non-English speaking backgrounds joined the team, Anna was the first to offer a helping hand. She would sit with them, share her story, and remind them that they were capable of learning, just as she had been. Her role as a mentor expanded beyond her workplace. Anna began volunteering at local community centers, where immigrants and refugees were learning English. She saw in them the same fear and uncertainty she once carried, and she was determined to help them overcome it. Week by week, she worked with people from different cultures, showing them that learning English was not just about mastering a language, but about unlocking new opportunities and breaking down barriers. One day, at one of these community classes, a young girl named Fatima approached Anna. Fatima had recently moved from Syria, and though she was determined to learn English, she was struggling. She was shy, nervous, and afraid to speak up in class. Anna recognized the fear in Fatima's eyes and felt a deep connection to her. Over time, Anna worked closely with Fatima, encouraging her to take small steps, much like she had done for herself and others. Slowly, but surely, Fatima began to gain confidence. Her English improved, and she started participating more in class. By the end of the year, Fatima was speaking freely, and her once hesitant smile had turned into a bright, confident one. Seeing the change in Fatima reminded Anna of how far she had come, and it filled her with a deep sense of purpose. It was then that Anna realized her journey with English was not just her own. It was part of a larger story, one that connected people across the world, united by a common desire to learn and communicate. She had learned that every person's struggle with English was unique, but the key to success was universal: persistence and the courage to keep going no matter how hard it seemed. As the years passed, Anna continued to live her dream, but she also became a beacon of hope for those around her. Whether through mentoring colleagues, volunteering, or sharing her story at conferences, Anna's message remained the same: don't give up on English, and don't give up on yourself. Her life had transformed because she refused to let fear or frustration stop her from pursuing her goals, and she was determined to pass that message on to as many people as possible. In the end, Anna's journey wasn't just about learning a language. It was about overcoming self-doubt, embracing challenges, and discovering her own strength. English had opened doors to new opportunities, but the true reward was the confidence and resilience she had built within herself. The story of Anna's life became a testament to the power of persistence. Through her experiences, she proved that no obstacle was too great if you had the determination to push through it. And as she looked back on her journey, from those frustrating early days in her first English class to her successful global career, she felt a deep sense of pride, not only for how far she had come, but for the countless lives she had touched along the way. Anna's story ended not with a grand finale, but with the quiet, lasting impact she made on the world. Her journey was a reminder that success isn't just about achieving a goal. It's about the courage to start, the strength to keep going, and the determination to never give up. And that was Anna's lasting message. No matter how hard it seems, never give up on English or on yourself.